Hi everyone, this is your Coach Mary with tapintoaction.com, and this is the December 2011 call to action, which you can tell is now a video. So over the past couple of weeks, I've been working with a lot of my clients, and I have gotten an overall response every time we start talking about setting our 2012 goals. And let me tell you, it's not been favorable. So that's one of the reasons I decided to do a video, because I want to teach you a new tool. It will be very unconventional. It's something you haven't done before, and the whole idea will be to get you into action so that you can reap the benefits of the reason that we set goals and we set intentions. But if when somebody talks about that, or you had a past experience with it that hasn't been good, chances are you get that feeling inside and then you steer away from it. You don't even want to talk about it, you don't want to look at it, you don't want to even touch it. So one of the things that we have with tapping is we have this ability to tap on all those old feelings so that we can open ourselves up to trying something again. Sometimes people will let history get in their way. It's something I did. I read the success books. They told me to set these SMART goals. They had to be specific. They had to be measurable. They had to have timetables. The point is with that is it doesn't always work for everybody. Not that the technique doesn't work for everybody. It's a really great tool. But if we haven't been in the right place for it and we tried it and it wasn't successful for us for whatever reason, we're not going to try it again. Or then when we think about it, we think, oh, I'm going to have to do that thing again. Well, if it didn't work the first time and you have all this residual feeling about it, it's going to stop you from moving forward. So two things we're going to do today. One is we're going to tap on some of those old feelings so that when you do think about setting your goals, you won't get that clenched up, really bad feeling again that makes you just want to push it away. And then I'm going to show you a new way of doing this, that for some of you, it will be more fun. And you know me, I'm always about fun. I want to do something that's fun. So we're going to try that today. I'm going to introduce you to that, which is why I'm standing in front of this bland white board, which won't be white by the time we finish it. But first we start by tapping on all of our old garbage, okay? So whatever that is for you, it might be that you're thinking about SMART, the word SMART, and how it said, you know, you had to have them specific and measurable, and you just remember, and you get that feeling just thinking about having to do it that way. Or maybe you have goals that you set in the past, and at the end of the year, you look at them and you realize that you didn't accomplish much, or maybe any, or just a few things, and you don't feel really good about that. So you don't want to do it again. So let's do some tapping on those feelings that come up. You get into that feeling state, whatever you have to look at, or maybe all you have to do is look at this that says Goals 2012, and that's enough to give you this really kind of resistant feeling. And we're going to start by doing some tapping on that. So we're going to start right here at the karate chop spot. Okay? And you say, even though I get this really crappy feeling just thinking about setting my goals, why would I ever want to feel that way again? I tried it before, and it didn't work for me. But I'm still going to accept myself. And perhaps I can give myself just one more chance to try this again. Even though I remember setting my goals in the past, and I remember how much I struggled with them, I didn't like doing it, and I don't want to do it again. I'm going to accept myself, and I'm going to open myself to the possibility that it's a new year, it's a new way, and maybe I'll have a different result. Even though when I just think about doing my goals again, I get that really crappy feeling. I don't want to do it. It makes me miserable. And even though I have those feelings, I'm going to be open to the idea that I can have a new experience, and that I could just find a new way, and I could find a way to do it with joy. And up here at the eyebrow, I don't want to talk about goals. I don't even like the term goals. It completely turns me off. And then I get that crappy feeling, that yucky feeling just thinking about my goals and how it felt before. But all the success literature says you have to set goals. You have to have goals if you want to be successful. But I don't want to do it. It makes me feel yucky. I have bad experiences with goals. I don't want to. I'm putting my foot down. I refuse to. I'm not doing it the same way I did before. But what if I could find a new way to do it that allowed me to be successful and I could play with it? I'd be open to seeing that. I could be open to trying that. It's just play. I was always good at that. And if it helps me get back in the game, then I'm willing to try it. I can let this old resistance go from that old way of doing things, the way they say it needs to be done, and give my shot with a new way, outside of the box, and it gets the job done. I could feel successful that way. I'm opening myself now to try this new way and allowing myself to have the success. Take a breath. Hopefully now you'll be at least a little bit more open to seeing what I have to offer you. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do goal writing in a way that has no anxiety attached to it, okay? So here's what it is. Many of you have heard from other times that we've worked together about a process I call writing in the writing, okay? So I went ahead and wrote writing in the writing up here so that I can show you what it looks like and how you're going to write your goals this year, okay? So writing in the writing looks like this. You write a sentence, and then you go back and you write over what you wrote. And then you come back to the beginning again, and you can see that you can't read it. Strange but true. This is a great exercise, I am telling you, because two things are going on here. One, nobody can read this. So if anybody walks up here, they have no idea what I've written. And that gives you safety. It means that you can write down some things that nobody is going to see. So you can write them down, and you know that you can just start playing with the ideas. But the second part is you can't see it. And that's valuable too. Because a lot of times with goals, what I hear from people is their concern is that they aren't quite exactly sure what they want. And they're afraid that when they write it down, that then they're going to have to be responsible for it, that they're stuck with it. Now, of course, that's another tapping and one we could definitely work on. But for right now, I just want you to practice writing down some of the things that you would desire, some of the things that you would love to have happen this year. And I want you to do it in this way. And you can do, when this is done, you just kind of drop down, you do another line, you just keep writing. It's to keep you unblocked, to allow your imagination to soar, your creativity to start connecting in so that you can start thinking about what would I like? What is it I want? Mostly, what feelings do I want to have this year? So this is your new way. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, well, heck, if I do this, how am I ever going to have my stated goals? How am I going to be able to write out my intentions? Don't worry. Once you've done this and you've really gotten a feel for some things that have floated up that you would like to transfer over to another piece of paper, by all means, feel free to write those down. But by now they're going to feel better because you gave yourself some room to just play. You did some tapping over the old stuff, and guess what? You're back in the game. So we're going to continue with our goals for 2012 on the next video. But for right now, just allow yourself to play in this area before the beginning of the year. Again, this is your Coach Mary from tapintoaction.com. I'm wishing you a wonderful 2012, and I look forward to helping you stay in action.